Welcome to part 2 of Saving Public Education. Last podcast, I spelled out 3 macro ways to do the job, which was number 1, completely eliminate the Federal Department of Education. Number 2, eliminate teacher unions. And number 3, have a more robust school choice option, especially for progressives. Now, today I want to talk about the 3 micro ways to save public education. They are, number 1, curriculum. Number 2, parental involvement. Pardon me for laughing. I'll explain why in a moment. And number 3, changing the role of the teacher. Now, on curriculum, we need a revival, a recommitment to reading books at all levels of public education. Kids are naturally drawn to books. They love them early in life. My grandson spends the night. We have to negotiate at bedtime how many books I'm going to read before we turn the light off. Otherwise, there's going to be a fight. How the public education system encourage kids to move from books to screens, I will never understand that. And I was screaming during COVID watching all these kids have to go to class via a laptop. What a disaster that was. Why didn't the teachers just, assign a book to read, schedule a Zoom meeting, a few days later, have them discuss it, make sure they comprehended it, and then make sure every kid has the assignment of doing an oral and a written report on what they learned? Yeah, I've always appreciated the story of the slaves, who 90% could not write their own name. Yet once they experienced freedom, they had a laser focus to read books. They knew they'd never experienced the full glory of freedom without being able to read. And listen, for our kids, you teach them to read, comprehend what they read, to communicate that orally and by writing. It just will open up doors of opportunity, not just in school, but in life itself. Number 2, parental involvement. I laugh at this because the public education system has somehow managed to turn parents into terrorists at school board meetings. They need to be involved. And let me tell you how, by moving to the 3rd thing, which is changing the role of the teacher. Let me illustrate this with the term coach. I used to coach kids, football, baseball, basketball, loved it. I used to say if I could do this for a job, be paid for this, I would do nothing else. But I had this little message for parents at the beginning of every season, every sport. It was this. Number 1, this is not a free speech zone. Number 2, this is not a democracy. And number 3, this is a communist organization. I am the dictator, but you can call me coach. Now, I wanted parental involvement, and obviously they were there for every game. I'd invite parents to help me with coaching, parents to do other jobs, or I get extra money from parents to, buy snacks, go on a trip, a camp, or just the season-ending party we always had. Teachers should do the same, but they can't right now in their current role because now they are slaves to an administrative master. They need to take ownership of the classroom, get rid of all the administration except for when they need it. There will be a problem, there will be a child, there will be situations. It's beyond them. That's when they need administrative help. But they are the dictators or the coaches in the classroom. And parental involvement is welcomed by the teacher and administered by the teacher. What do you think about my ideas?